morning. This is your weekly Under the Golden Dome update. I have 5 important things for you this week. Number 1, the Senate passed the agreed upon 2.4% SSA rate, sending the bill to the governor. Included in part of this discussion, but not yet finalized, is what are we going to do about a supplemental appropriations for schools to cover some of the costs they incurred while providing instruction through the pandemic. The House and the Senate still have not agreed, but the House is going ahead and passing their version, which basically allows you to take credit for the days that you had in-person instruction and a little bit of credit for days that you were hybrid, but not any kind of credit for the days in which you had an approved online waiver. Our preference is that money be distributed equitably across all districts, regardless of whether you were in-person, hybrid, or online. That's in compliance with the governor's proclamation from July 24th, as well as Senate File 2310. And the costs we incurred are not any different just because we were in a hybrid or online learning environment. Number 2, the House has passed a bill that was previously passed by the Senate that will temporarily increase the school board member compensation to allow school board members to continue to serve in roles as substitutes, bus drivers, or food service workers. That bill goes to the governor, and we expect it to be signed next week. That's great news for you school board members who've been helping your districts keep kids in the classroom. Number 3, the House Public Safety Committee passed a public safety department bill that will implement a safe and sound program, which will allow anonymous tip reporting of threats within schools. But the part that concerns us the most, and the reason why we're registered to opposed to the bill, is that you will also have to turn your emergency response plans over to the Department of Public Safety, who can then distribute them to any law enforcement agency that they wish without you necessarily knowing about it. We're concerned that this potentially will increase the likelihood of those plans being leaked and not maintained as confidential. The House Education Committee this week passed a bill that will allow districts to transfer money from their general fund to their school's activity fund. They recognize that you still had costs for activities, but you didn't necessarily have the revenue to cover those increased costs. So this bill will move on to the House floor. There isn't a similar bill in the Senate, but we hope that we'll be able to get this to move forward. Number 5, bond elections. Every year we see bills that say you shouldn't have so many bond elections. And this morning we had a subcommittee on a bill that would allow you to hold a bond election for school construction every 2 years. That bill thankfully did not come out of subcommittee, and hopefully that's the last we'll hear about reducing your opportunities to take bond elections before the voters. As you continue to look forward into the next several weeks, remember our funnel deadline is coming up on March 5th, which is when we clear the decks of things that have not been approved by a committee. So as you talk with your legislators, remember to talk about things like dropout prevention equity and why additional funding is needed to help with the preschool funding gap that may occur when enrollments increase next school year. So with that, that's your update. Thank you.